Welcome back to Pastry Maestra. I'm Teresa and today I'm making lemon meringue tart. Lemon meringue tart is a type of baked pie usually served for dessert with a crust usually made of short crust pastry, lemon custard filling and a fluffy meringue topping. Lemon-flavored custards, puddings and pies have been made since medieval times, but meringue was perfected in the 17th century. Lemon meringue tart, as it is known today, is a 19th century product. The earliest recorded recipe was attributed to Alexander Frese, a Swiss baker from Romandy, which is a French-speaking part of western Switzerland. Important thing, lemon meringue tart is not to be confused with lemon meringue pie. So what exactly is the difference besides the obvious one, that the tart is made in a tart pan and pie in a pie pan? Well, for one thing, a lemon meringue pie uses a lemon filling or custard, which contains little or no butter and uses cornstarch or flour for thickening. A lemon meringue tart, on the other hand, is filled with lemon curd, which does not contain cornstarch or flour and contains more lemon juice and zest, which gives the curd a sharper lemon flavor. A lemon curd also contains butter, which gives it a smooth and creamy texture. Now, both of these desserts are delicious, no argument there, and also both experience the same problem with meringue, called weeping. This means that beads of moisture form between the baked meringue and the filling, causing the meringue to slip away from the filling. One reason for weeping is undercooking the meringue, and because of that, I'm using Italian meringue, which doesn't need to be baked in the oven. As you can see, we are getting technical here, so if you are not a meringue connoisseur, I would strongly suggest that you learn everything about meringue, meaning what is French, Italian and Swiss meringue, how to make each one, and what are the differences, what are the common problems and mistakes, and how to fix them. Now, you're in luck, because I have a big post on this subject. The link is in the description. So check it and learn everything about meringue in one place. All the facts neatly organized and served on a platter. Okay, now that we are sure that you know your meringue, let's make some and put it on top of the tart where it belongs. As usual, the recipe is on my site and link is down below. To make short crust pastry, I've placed softened butter and sifted powdered sugar into a bowl of a stand mixer fitted with paddle attachment. I will mix on medium speed until the mixture becomes nice and creamy. Then I will add one whole egg and continue mixing until it is incorporated. Now I'll add sifted flour and mix it in with my silicone spatula. I'm gonna wrap my dough in plastic foil and leave it in the fridge for about an hour. While my dough is chilling, I'm gonna make lemon curd. The first thing I'm gonna do is finely grate the zest of one lemon. I will only use yellow part of the skin because the white part is very bitter. Now I will add lemon juice, sugar, 2 whole eggs and 1 egg yolk in a heat-proof bowl and stir with a whisk. I've placed the mixture on bain-marie and I'm gonna cook it, stirring constantly until the curd thickens. My curd is done and now I'm gonna strain it through a sieve into a clean bowl. Use glass or plastic bowl because the acid from the cream will react with the metal bowl and make your curd taste metallic. I'm gonna leave it to cool down a bit at room temperature. Now I will add softened butter and stir until it melts. My curd is done. I'll cover it and put it in the fridge to cool. My short crust pastry is nicely chilled and rested. I took it out from the fridge and now I'm gonna break it with the palm of my hand and press it over the table surface a few times until it gets more elastic. I won't do it too long, the pastry has to stay as cold as possible. Now I'm ready for rolling. At this stage it is important to rotate the dough as you roll so it doesn't stick to the surface. If you need to add more flour, add it carefully. If you add too much flour, it will affect the texture of the pastry. I'm gonna keep rolling and rotating until I get even 3 to 5 millimeters, which is 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch thick sheet, which should be larger than my mold. I'm happy with the thickness and size of my rolled dough, so it is time to roll it onto my rolling pin, put it over the mold and gently unroll it. The next step is to quickly lift the sides of the pastry and tuck them into the mold without breaking them, which isn't simple, especially at this moment when the dough is at room temperature for some time. Now it's time to remove the excess dough. The easiest way to do that is to press the rolling pin in the middle of the mold and roll it to one side and then to the other one. And now I'm gonna gently press the sides of the dough with my thumb all around the mold. Now I'm gonna remove the excess dough by cutting it from the inside out at the top of the tart mold with my small knife. I'm happy with my tart shell and now I'm gonna put it in the fridge for 10 minutes. Before baking, I will dock the bottom of my tart shell with a fork and then I'm gonna fill it with baking weights. Without weights, the sides of my tart shell would melt and slide down while baking and the bottom of the tart would rise. I'm putting thermostable foil and baking weights inside. I'm gonna bake my tart shell at 180 degrees centigrade, which is 350 Fahrenheit, for approximately 10 to 15 minutes. Now I'm gonna remove the weights and put the tart shell back into the oven for another 10 to 15 minutes until it is completely baked. Both my tart shell and lemon curd are cold, and now I will fill the tart shell with lemon curd and put it in the fridge. Now it's time to make Italian meringue. To make Italian meringue, I'm gonna place sugar and some water into a saucepan and put the lid on. I have already put egg whites into a bowl of a stand mixer fitted with whisk attachment, but I won't start whisking just yet. When my syrup boils, the steam will wash down the sugar crystals from the sides of my pan, and now I'm gonna remove the lid. At that point, I'm gonna insert the probe of my digital candy thermometer into the syrup and continue cooking on medium heat. All about cooking sugar syrup you can learn from my post. The link is in the description below. When my syrup reaches 113 degrees centigrade, which is 235 degrees Fahrenheit, I'm gonna start whisking my egg whites on medium speed. When the syrup reaches 118 degrees centigrade, which is 244 degrees Fahrenheit, I'm gonna pour it into foamed egg whites carefully without turning off my mixer. It is important to pour the syrup between the whisk and the side of the bowl. Be very careful. If you pour the syrup on the whisk while it's working, it could splatter your hands or face with hot sugar syrup and you could get serious burns. Once all the syrup is inside, I'm going to continue whisking Italian meringue until it cools down. When Italian meringue cools down, it is ready to be used. I filled my piping bag fitted with 2 centimeters, which is about 3/4 of an inch round tip, with meringue, and now I'll pipe it on top of the lemon curd. Finally, I will caramelize the meringue with my kitchen blowtorch. There, my lovely lemon meringue tart is done. Now I have to wait patiently for a couple of hours until it sets in the fridge, and then the feast can begin. Join me!
Oh baby, you are so sweet, so delicious and yummy, so good to eat. I wanna lick you, feel your sweetness on my lips. Forever and ever, you'll stay on my hips.
I'm Teresa. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you liked it. If you wanna stay in touch, Follow me on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, and of course, visit my site, where you can find elaborate posts with lots of pictures, additional information and recipes that follow my every video. Also, on my site you can download my free 365 pages ebook The Pastry Chef and maybe buy me a macaron if you think that I've earned it. Now, before you go, please hit the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That really helps a lot. Finally, and this is the most important thing, don't forget to create sweetness every day, because sweetness is happiness. See you in my next video. Bye!